Chair recognizes the gentleman from Mississippi, Mr. Guest, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, within the last 2 weeks, I've taken 2 separate visits to the southwest border. One with Ranking Member Katko to El Paso, and a second a trip led by Leader McCarthy to Eagle Pass. During our trip to the border, we spoke with Border Patrol agents, local law enforcement officials, community leaders, elected officials, and everyone that we spoke to without exception said that the situation on the border is the worst that they have ever seen it. Statistics tell the same story. Last month, 221,000 encounters along the southwest border. Fox News reported that as many as 60,000 gotaways occurred last month. Just cutting that number in half, it's going to then be over 250,000 people who entered the country illegally last month. Since you have been Secretary, since the administration has taken over, we have seen that there have been more than 2.4 million encounters, a number greater than 15 of our individual states. Just looking at the last 6 months, CBP reported that they have arrested 14,150 individuals with known criminal convictions, 321 known gang members, and we know that 23 individuals were encountered who were on the terrorist watch list. Mr. Secretary, you have repeatedly lied. You've lied to Congress and you've lied to the American people when you said that the border is secure. Here in September, a hearing in which Representative Pfluger asked you this question: is the border more secure under your leadership than when you started? Your answer, Congressman, the border is secure. We're executing our plan, and I've been very clear and unequivocal in that regard. Just over a year ago, you were interviewed by ABC, Martha Raddatz. She said this: we've heard the sheriff say it, the governor say it, and the immigrants I've spoken to say it. They're coming across the border because they believe they will be welcome under the Biden administration. You yourself 3 weeks ago are not saying don't come. We're saying don't come now. President Biden had a stronger message later, but the messages are mixed at the best, Mr. Secretary. Your response: Martha, good morning. The message is quite clear. Do not come. The border is closed. The border is secure. And so my question to you, Mr. Secretary, are you testifying as you sit here today that the southwest border is secure?
Yes, I am, and we are continuing to work to make it more secure. And if I can correct one thing about the statistics you are using, and also mention one important factor. Number one, please understand that under Title 42, a Title 42 expulsion is not a formal removal under immigration law under Title 8 of the United States Code. And what happens under Title 42 is, because it is an expulsion and not a formal removal, we're seeing a great deal of recidivism. So the same individual will try again to enter the United States. And so the number of encounters is different than the number of unique individuals seeking entry into the United States between the ports of entry, number one. So the encounters does not equal the number of unique individuals. Number two, the transnational criminal organizations, the smuggling networks, are spreading misinformation to vulnerable migrants that the border is open. And the reality is, the fact of the matter is, that individuals who are encountered at the border make claims for relief under our asylum laws. That is what our law provides. Those whose claims succeed in immigration enforcement proceedings have established a basis to remain in the United States. Those who do not are removed from the United States, and therefore the border is in fact not open.
Mr. Secretary, you're wrong. You're not being truthful with this committee, and you're not being truthful with the American public. I've been to the border twice within the last 2 weeks. I've spoken with CBP agents. I've spoken with elected officials. They all say the same thing. They all say that this administration has abandoned them. They say that they feel like that they are left to deal with this problem all by themselves. The border is not secure. The border is wide open. Under your leadership, this problem has only gotten worse, and in fact, this is the worst immigration crisis that our nation has ever seen. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Let me suggest to our colleagues that decorum is the order of the day, and we will enforce it accordingly. Chair recognizes.
If I may, just, Mr. Chairman, when you refer to decorum, what was the problem with the last question?
Well, just to call somebody a lie is not the decorum.
Okay, so, but you're okay with the other thing, you're just saying because of that one word you said?
I'm just saying that decorum is the order of the day.
I understand that, but by inferring that, I thought you were inferring that his line of question was out of order. I understand.
No,
Thank you.
I did not question, I don't question any member's questions, but calling the man a lie is out of order.